Let's get right into it. Number 7. The dark isn't empty. You ever walk into a pitch black room, and suddenly every chair, coat, or shadow turns into a murderer waiting for their Netflix cameo? Yeah, your brain is basically a free horror movie director. But here's the thing. Being scared of the dark isn't childish. It's evolutionary. When the lights go out, your strongest survival tool, vision, goes offline. And your brain, desperate for answers, just starts filling in the blanks with worst-case scenarios. This is why darkness feels way creepier than a brightly lit kitchen. The unknown is scarier than the known, because your brain hates not knowing more than it hates being wrong. Back in caveman days, night meant predators. You couldn't exactly whip out a flashlight when you heard a twig snap, so being scared of the dark literally saved lives. The cautious ones passed on their genes. The brave ones probably got eaten by something with claws. Congrats. Your fear of the dark is basically genetic inheritance from paranoid great-grandma Uga. So yeah, when you leave the bathroom light on at night, it's not immaturity, it's biology doing a little self-preservation dance. Basically, your fear of the dark is less childish phobia and more free, built-in home security system. Number 6. Heights hate you back. Here's a fun fact. Your fear of heights doesn't actually care if you're balanced or safe. You can be standing on a perfectly solid balcony, behind glass, sipping a latte, and your stomach still decides it's time to practice synchronized backflips. Why? Because gravity is undefeated. Your body knows this. Evolution wired you to freak out around cliffs, trees, and ledges because one misstep meant becoming saber-toothed tiger food with a side of broken bones. That dizzy, stomach-dropping feeling, it's your brain reminding you, very aggressively, that falling equals dying. Even cooler, or worse, depending on your outlook, your body sometimes overcorrects. Scientists call it the high place phenomenon. You know that bizarre urge to jump when you're up somewhere tall? It's not a death wish. It's your brain's misfiring safety alarm. Basically, your system screams, "Careful! Don't fall!" so loudly that it accidentally plants the thought of jumping in your head. Thanks, brain. That's super helpful. So yeah, your fear of heights isn't irrational at all. It's literally a life-saving alarm system that's been passed down since the first primate realized, wow, the ground is way too far away. It's not weakness, it's physics appreciation, just with more sweat. Number 5. Spiders are basically needles with legs. You've probably heard it 1,000 times. Spiders are more scared of you than you are of them. Yeah, tell that to my nervous system when a hairy 8-legged speed demon decides to rappel from the ceiling right above my bed. Here's the deal. Fear of spiders, arachnophobia, isn't just because they look like horror movie props with legs. It's evolutionary. For thousands of years, humans and venomous critters had, let's say, a complicated relationship. Some spiders can't hurt you, sure, but enough of them could to make your ancestors extra twitchy. That rustle in the grass? That shiny web across your path? Better safe than screaming. Your brain's threat detection system doesn't care about the difference between a harmless house spider and a black widow. To your nervous system, it's all the same. 8 legs, creepy movement, possible venom, instant panic. Even better, spiders have what I'll call visual betrayal powers. They're small enough to disappear but fast enough to reappear somewhere else before your brain finishes processing the first sighting. That's like being haunted by a tiny, venomous teleporting ninja. No wonder people lose their minds. So yeah, being afraid of spiders isn't silly. It's basically your body's way of saying, hey, let's not risk a medieval-style venom death today. And honestly, fair enough. Number 4. Deep water eel brain meltdown. You're floating in the ocean, and suddenly you can't see the bottom. It's just endless. Dark blue nothingness. Congrats, you've just unlocked your primal fear of deep water. This isn't just about drowning. It's about your brain freaking out over the unknown. In water, you're slow, clumsy, and not at the top of the food chain. Your lungs are running on a timer, and the sea is hiding who knows what underneath you. Sharks, jellyfish, or, if you're lucky, just your imagination staging a horror movie. Psychologists call this thalassophobia, and it makes perfect sense. Our ancestors didn't grow up with scuba gear or lifeguards. For them, big water meant unpredictable storms, hidden predators, and oh look, now I'm 40 miles from shore and regretting all my life choices. Even today, we know shockingly little about the ocean. We've mapped more of Mars than Earth's seafloor. So when you're staring into that dark abyss and your chest tightens, it's not irrational. It's your brain saying, this giant, salty death soup is not your natural habitat. Please return to land before something with teeth notices you. So yeah, if you've ever panicked in the deep end of a swimming pool, don't feel dumb. Your brain just doesn't trust anything it can't see the bottom of. And honestly, same. Number 3. Heights equals gravity's love letter. Stand near the edge of a tall building and suddenly your legs feel like jelly, your palms sweat, and your brain whispers, what if you just jumped? Thanks, brain. Real supportive. Fear of heights, or acrophobia, is basically your body's built-in alarm system against the world's most reliable killer, gravity. Falling from high up has been one of humanity's greatest threats since we started climbing trees for snacks. No matter how modern you think you are, your nervous system doesn't forget that a misstep could mean a splat. Here's the fun part. It's not just the fear of falling. It's also vertigo, that weird sensation where your inner ear and your eyes can't agree on which way is up. Your balance system goes on strike, and your body responds like, well, we're about to die. Cue shaking legs and the desperate instinct to crawl away from the edge like a panicked toddler. And the what if I jump? Intrusive thought? That's not you being secretly self-destructive. Psychologists call it the call of the void. It's basically your brain's buggy way of double-checking that you actually don't want to leap off the cliff. Think of it like a pop-up ad for chaos that you never asked for. So yeah, fear of heights isn't just rational, it's basically your nervous system paying homage to the laws of physics. Gravity doesn't negotiate. Number 2, darkness is imagination's playground. Ever walked down a hallway at night and suddenly picked up the pace for no reason? Yeah, that's your brain's version of sprinting away from an invisible monster. Darkness freaks you out because, biologically speaking, it's where predators had the upper hand. Humans are diurnal, we're built for daytime. At night, our eyesight sucks, our reflexes slow down, and our ancestors became midnight snacks for things with sharper teeth. So when you feel uneasy in the dark, congratulations, you're just tapping into thousands of years of please don't get eaten programming. But the real kicker is how your imagination fills in the blanks. See a coat on a chair? Suddenly it's a lurking figure. Hear the house creak? Must be an axe murderer. Your brain hates incomplete information, so in low visibility, it starts running the horror movie simulator. Better to overreact to a shadow than underreact to a lion. Even as adults, this fear sticks around because darkness equals uncertainty, and uncertainty equals potential danger. Plus, let's be honest, all the best horror stories start in the dark. Nobody ever got haunted at brunch in broad daylight. So next time you flip on every light in your house just to grab a glass of water, don't feel silly. You're not scared of the dark, you're scared of what your brain thinks is in it. Which, let's be real, is way worse. Number 1, death is the ultimate unknown. Let's just rip the band-aid off. The fear of death is basically humanity's greatest hits album. Think about it. You can prepare for taxes, you can prepare for a breakup, but you cannot prepare for the ultimate 404 life not found error. Death is the blank page at the end of your story, and your brain absolutely hates blank pages. It's wired to predict, plan, and prepare. But death? It's like the world's biggest spoiler alert, except no one actually knows what happens after. And that uncertainty drives your nervous system bananas. Now, you might think this fear is irrational because, technically, you won't be around to experience it. But that's exactly why it's rational. Humans evolved this terror of death to keep you alive. If your ancestors weren't worried about dying, they'd have been way too chill about walking into tiger dens or drinking suspicious swamp water. Fear of death is literally the reason your DNA made it to the 21st century. Psychologists call it death anxiety, and it shows up in sneaky ways. Fear of flying, fear of choking, even hypochondria, all little disguises of the same root fear. The big curtain call. And here's the fun paradox. Our brains are so freaked out by death that we create all kinds of coping systems. Religion, philosophy, bucket lists, even cryogenics. Basically, we've built an entire culture around trying to outsmart the inevitable. So yeah, fearing death isn't dramatic or childish, it's biology's greatest survival hack. Because if you weren't at least a little terrified of dying, you'd probably be dead already. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.